What's up, guys? The red light is on. Dave Van Auken, Dave Van Auken Show, Fight Bananas. I'm here now with UFC's Jonny Parsons. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. So I'm sending you a link to get on this. And, we're talking through Instagram and, you threw me your number. And it's funny. So I go to put it in as a link, but you're already in my phone. So I'm like, oh, okay, the last time we did this, or maybe something through iKON. And I see a picture. It's you, and it says your job handle or whatever, where you work for, and it says iKON Fighting Federation. I was like, no, I got to change this before we talk. So I deleted iKON, put UFC in there, man. How does it feel, first and foremost? That's a good-ass feeling.
Oh, yes. Man, I feel great. And I'm a local to Vegas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've been training here in town for the longest time. And, of course, being in the UFC was always the dream, when I was a 16-year-old kid walking into the gym. But to just truly be a part of the company now and being able to utilize the PI, like I've already been there all week last week. You know what I mean? So it's a great feeling.
There you go. Is Forrest Griffin, Forrest, like, come on, Johnny, you can't use this every day. This can't be your home gym, all right? We got to kick you out every now and then.
Oh, no, he's always happy to see me.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
It's funny. There's been a handful of people, even some guys in UFC were recording me the other day. I guess I was like one of 10 selected Contender Series fighters that they're going to follow a little bit. And nice. Leading up into our debuts, we're going to get like a little episode that features us going into our each person's gig. So I'll have my own little episode that'll feature me and leading up into my debuts. So that'll be cool. But it's funny because the producer that was assigned to film me that day, he was talking about how he's heard my name thousands of times, just around the PI from other people. Yeah. So it's kind of funny to hear that. And then even the front desk lady at the PI was like, "Oh, you know everyone here already." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, it's so funny. The fight game is a small niche community, and I feel like even Vegas to date for Florida with Pensacola, where Dean's from, and Daytona, like everyone intertwines. Like there's this short circuit of everyone. And it's so funny. We're out there at the PFL, and me, I saw one of my buddies that we started chatting, and he's sitting next to Anthony Pettis, like he was chilling with Anthony. And it's funny, like me and Anthony, we hung out together 3-4 years ago in Pensacola. Had a wild night. All the stories can't be said on this broadcast, but I was showing him some pictures from that night. He's like, "Holy crap!" Like it is wild. Everyone has stories together, and everyone's kind of spent time or trained together or cross trained. Everyone knows everyone,
Yeah.
That's also like when they say so. Everything when do you want to have a turnaround? Is this something that they're trying to do that they think it's going to be like a quick turnaround for you? That's why you were picked, or they're just they're just going to follow you. And if it's March, it's March. But I know you would probably want to get in there before that.
Yeah, I'd want to, get in before that. It's weird. It was a split decision, and I don't want to say anything about my camp or anything that possibly could have allegedly happened. But, after that fight, I was given a 45-day suspension.
Yep.
By the doctor. I won, and it wasn't like, in my opinion, I feel like the times I got hit hard, if that was a boxing fight or a Muay Thai fight, I don't think it would have been hard enough to like give me an 8 count.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think they might have been more like slips, not even like full on, "Oh, he was knocked down, we need to count him."
Right.
Like, I don't even think I was hit that hard, to be honest. Like, yeah, he was strong, powerful dude. But, even in that, I was talking about.
Like an 8 count and like your turnaround, you have a 45-day suspension.
Yeah, so I didn't think it was the toughest fight. But let's just say the doctor that happened to write my paperwork might have known about some things that allegedly, I'm not confirming, happened during my fight camp.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when she was doing my paperwork, she put some extra time just because
Right.
she knew how tough of a camp I had
Yep. What,
on
so
top
with,
of the fight. So I think that's why I'm on a 45-day medical suspension. So I couldn't I can't fight until after 45 days from the date of
right.
Contender Series.
With that
So
being
once
said, if
that's
you
up, yes, I'm ready. Once
you
that's up,
ready?
I'm ready to go.
Ready to go. So with that being said, if you had a tough camp or if you had something maybe allegedly didn't go your way, maybe it was a little difficult, there was nothing that was going to get in your way that night from fighting? You were walking, you were going to push those contender doors one way or another?
Yeah, man, it's so crazy because you know, people talk about mental health and different things like that, and it's like, man, I'm human.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
think that I'm sitting in the hotel room before the fight or the day before the fight thinking about all the things that could possibly go wrong? That's just being human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you get to those points, you're sitting there in your hotel room by yourself or whatever you got going on, and you're asking yourself, "Oh man, like what if this happens, or what if this happens? Like what am I gonna do if I lose? Am I gonna go back to the fight on the regional scene? Like what am I gonna do with my life? Like you know?"
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everyone's gonna have those moments where they ask themselves tough questions like that. And what I've always tried to do is when I have those moments and I ask myself those tough questions, I make sure I answer them like wholeheartedly with my belief, and that, that's why maybe I'm blessed with the fighting spirit, because anytime I have those moments where I ask myself those tough questions, like am I going to get knocked out, like am I going to lose, like what am I going to do if I lose, it's on TV, and like I always answer those questions to myself, like no, I'm going to win. I was
Yeah. Yeah.
born for this. I
Yeah.
trained hard for this. You know what I mean? So I always answer those questions positively and like have that little mental conversation with myself. But it always ends with me answering those tough questions with belief and positivity.
Right. For sure. How many times have you watched that fight back?
Oh, a good number of times. So
Right.
here, this is awesome because I feel like you're a great person for me to talk about this with.
Hit me.
Um,
Hit me.
Punch, strike counts don't mean nothing.
100%.
And I'll say this, you know what I was reading some of the stats on that fight. They said I went 0 for 3 in takedowns.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like just because I'm trying to trip someone or put someone off balance doesn't mean I'm trying to take the fight to the ground.
Right.
So
Right.
it's just weird that like using a regular Muay Thai technique for off balance is getting put on the stats as if I failed to take down. Where it's like, dude, who said I was trying to take him down? You
Right.
know?
Right.
So that's just, and I guess it's a sport, and that's what people don't understand, that like those stats are to give casual fans some sort of visual or something, and that the judges don't even see those stats.
Right. Very
A
true.
lot of people don't understand that judging is like, yeah, there's points in judging, but it's like opinion points. It's like the winner of the round gets 10, then the person, you know, loses the round gets 9 or lower.
Right.
And then sometimes people hear
Yeah.
people say the term, that's a point. No, they don't mean that's a point like you're earning a point. It's that if you get knocked down, you lose the round by an extra point. And you know what I mean? It's just people
Right.
get
Right.
lost in translation sometimes.
Absolutely. And it's so funny you say that because I'm with it too. And you can have high level people that are in the fight game that watch fights all the time, promoters, matchmakers, other fighters, and three people can sit on the couch and watch a fight and score it differently because of whatever their preference is. If it is grappling or if it's submission attempts, or like you said, a lot of people are into, and that's fine, and that no slight to them, but a lot of people just want to jab and to kind of hit, just to kind of score points, if you may. Me, myself, I'm into damage or I'm into winning the fight. Like if you guys are outside, right outside the In-N-Out burger, like who won that fight? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm into. That's just my calling in a way. And I'm watching the fight and I thought it was close. I thought it was a great fight. It was 15 minutes of a great fight. But a lot of people, right before the, the decision, they're like, oh, they thought your opponent scored more points, if they said, whereas more strikes were landed. And I was like, they can say that, but Johnny had like 8 of the 10 best strikes or the striking combinations of the fight. Like, I felt like Johnny won the fight. So that was my 2 cents. I don't know if you feel the same way or people around you felt the same way. It was a great fight, and it was. And like I said, no slight to him. I actually think he might, your opponent might fight for Dean in the near future in December. I kind of do want to hit on that in the future, but it was a great fight. It was one of the best fights of the year on the Contender for sure.
Yeah, it was.
It was. So tell the story real quick, guys. I wrote it on Facebook, and then there's actually some family stuff that I want to talk to you about. Being that iKON fighter, you're fighting Tyler Hill a year ago. Into that fight, if you want to call it that, whatever, an underdog. Tyler was 1 fight away from the UFC. He fought in the Contender already, and Tyler won 2 or 3 in a row. And you're a good name, a big name, a striker. Like, oh, this is gonna be a great fight. And Tyler's a little bit of the favorite, and you win that fight. You go on this iKON roll of 3 wins in a row. All stoppages, all like short notice, different weight cuts. And from being iKON into the UFC pretty quickly, pretty rapidly. How have you felt MMA wise in the last year? It's been an amazing run.
I sometimes getting better doesn't happen in like a slow incline.
Okay.
Sometimes things just click, you know what I mean? And I would say in the past couple of years, man, so many things have really just been coming together and clicking. And I never feel off about being the underdog. If anything, that kind of gives me confidence. You know what I mean? Because if everyone's seeing me as an underdog, probably my opponent is as well. But I think Solomon he came in ready for a tough fight. Especially that he opened up big in the first round with some moments, but rounds 2 and 3, and even after the moments he opened up big in round 1, it seemed like he wasn't very confident to just let it go very often. He was also fighting very technical and calculated. But no, it's just, if I were to not, of course, there maybe it wouldn't be my only chance. But let's just say I didn't make it into the UFC. I probably would fight 10 more years anyways. So to be able to have the opportunity to have these fights that are going to mean more, they're going to make history. I'm going to be able to make more money and support my family doing it. It just means everything. Because honestly, with or without the UFC contract, I'd keep grinding like this.
Yeah.
This is the path I choose to walk, and I don't know any other way. And so I'm really blessed to be able to now walk this path in the UFC, because, like I said, I would have did it anyways. I would have kept fighting anyways.
That's a good story, man. That's a real story. I saw, I want to talk about you, the family. I saw, for one, how was the Halloween? I saw you guys were all dressed up together. You guys did the match thing. That takes some time and effort. How did that come to be? You guys had a good Halloween?
Yeah, my lady's a good shopper. So, I don't know how she came home one day with 5 panda costumes.
Yeah.
And then, so we were planning on being pandas, but then there was one day we went to the Halloween store. And I just went all crazy. We bought all these swords and purge masks and stuff. So
yeah.
My honey's like, oh, can we just be pandas? Can we just be pandas first? And then afterwards you could do whatever you want. So she wanted to get the picture with the pandas,
Yeah.
but she wanted to be pandas. I kind of brought up being purgers, and I was trying to fuse it. We were gonna be panda purgers, but she just was like, "There's too much going on." I was like, "All right, we'll mellow out for you, baby." But we were trying to be the purging pandas or whatever, and just have weapons and stuff. But
it's so funny.
I broke out my little swords a couple times, but it was a little ridiculous. But hey, we were panda family.
There you go. That's great. My wife's the same way sometimes. With the Contender on Tuesdays, Like AEW will be on Wednesday. Then sometimes bare knuckle goes on Friday. Then there's a UFC Saturday. Sometimes even Bellator goes on Sunday. And it'd be like 9 o'clock at night. And I'm watching it like 4 out of 6 days. My wife like, can we just watch something together? Like, can we just watch an AEW, AEW movie? Like, can we just, a romantic comedy? Can you put on The Wedding Singer, like Adam Sandler? So I hear you, you know what I mean? They win usually,
Yeah.
They do. Also, I want to say, so I saw a lot of pictures on your Instagram with your boy playing baseball. I'm like, dude, those are the best memories. I'm actually coaching my son, my 4-year-old, in T-ball right now. It's incredible. There's nothing like it. There's those memories will not be made again. And just how's that going? And just everyone always sees you as, as fighters, and that's all. But it's like, man, Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, we're men, we're fathers, we're husbands. You know what I mean? Like we're normal people. How's everything with your son playing baseball?
Man, it's so awesome. The season just ended, so I'm excited for them to start bringing them back to jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. But man, they had a lot of fun. And I'm not the biggest baseball fan.
Yeah.
But man, like, I don't know if it's just because I'm watching my kids or what it is, but man, I really love watching them play. And it's cool, like baseball. Like I know how to play baseball. I know about the sport, but just like kind of watching the kids have to like work together and figure it out and like see them struggle a little bit, but then like sometimes see them have some really good plays. Man, it's awesome. It's awesome to see the teamwork, and it's not just about one player. But then it's sometimes like when they're up to bat, it's like everyone's counting on them and the pressure's on. And my kids are pretty good about like they always hit it. When it's their time to bat, they always hit it. So I'm always pumped for them.
That's great. You're so right, man. Like I said, I'm coaching, and they're 4-year-olds. They're so young, and they're learning. And like from the first practice, and we're like halfway in right now, to like right now, it's leap and balance. It's kind of like an amateur fighter until like a UFC fighter. It's like they're starting to click. They're starting to transition well. The grappling's great. Like it's amazing how great the kids are. It's pretty phenomenal. There we go. On my list, I had Halloween. I had iKON to contender to UFC. Turnaround, so around 20, 30 more days of the suspension, and then hopefully get you back in there. Couple last things. UFC 268 this weekend, Madison Square Garden. You got Usman or Covington?
You know what?
Ooh.
I'm expecting to see some evolution from Usman.
Yeah.
I just don't know how much more we're gonna see Colby evolve. I feel like, there's been a handful of fights that Kobe did recently where I realized, dude has crazy cardio. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that got crazy cardio now, especially, people are starting to work out more scientific. Whereas before, people used to grind themselves into the ground thinking it was going to make them conditioned. But now it's like, even I felt it in my last camp. I worked out a little more smarter, and that's probably the best I ever felt. I haven't gone 3 5s that many times because I always knock them out. But that's probably the best I felt after 3 5-minute rounds. Like really? I probably could have pushed it harder if I wasn't fighting such a dangerous opponent. I probably would have pushed it harder,
Yeah, and going back to that to you that's where I think, to me, where you won the fight was the last 2 minutes of the third round. It was close. If they had Solomon in the first, they had you in the second. The third was close, and then the last minute or 2 minutes was your last 2 minutes. Like you won. To me, that was maybe one of your bright spots of the fight. And like you said, if you said you felt that great, that won you the fight, the condition or the cardio to go 15 minutes.
Yeah. So I just think, there's not going to be, I haven't seen enough evolution from Colby in the past few fights. And kind of like every time we see Usman, there's like this huge improvement. And you can even say and that's the thing is that his striking hasn't even come along yet, but we're seeing the big improvements each fight.
Yep.
So he isn't this master striker. And even in fights where he had really good moments, there were still some really sloppy striking moments. But hey, nobody's perfect. Yeah. But I just see that, you know what I mean? Colby hasn't evolved much besides the fact that he has this unrelenting cardio and pressure. But Usman, every fight, his striking's getting better.
Right.
So that's why I'm going to give it to Usman.
Agree full-heartedly. Literally love your take there. I agree. Rose or Weili?
Man, I'm going with Rose because she pulled it off in the rematches.
She does.
When she beat Joanna and then boom, beat her in the rematch. I think she's gonna beat Weili in the rematch as well.
And last one, a nice little lightweight matchup. 2 top 5 guys, Gaethje or Chandler.
Man, that's a tough one, but man, I got to give it to my man Gaethje.
Gaethje.
Dang, Team Elevation! I just picked out all the Team Elevation fighters.
You did all 3 of them.
I didn't mean to.
Man, don't switch camps on us, bro. Come on now. Don't switch. You're a syndicate guy. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are saying Gaethje's been gone for 18 or 16 months, whatever it's been. For me, and this is just an outsider, and I'm just a layman saying it, I think that was good for Gaethje. Gaethje is in so many fights and wars when he goes. I think that was good time to get away, kind of reset your body, reset some stuff. And I think he's going to be I think he's going to look incredible Saturday. That's my 2 cents. I really do.
Well, hey, going into that, and this is why, being in the gym for so long, sometimes I get disappointed in people when I hear them say things like, oh, man, I'm rusty, or, oh, I'm out of shape, or this and that. And I'm like, bro, it's just sparring.
Yeah.
Why do you have to tell me these excuses? I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything. Why are you telling me about how you're rusty and about you're tired? This, like, I wasn't judging you. But from my opinion, it's like I've actually always felt my best after a break.
Right.
So like and usually my first workout, because I'm just a nutcase, usually my first workout is sparring.
Yeah.
Like some people like to get in shape or whatever, but it's like this is like a way of life for me. Like it's just fun.
Yeah.
So like say I'm like there's different points in my life where I had things going on. Maybe I was working or whatever I had to do. I'll still show up and spar on Saturday. And sometimes some of my best sparring was like when I wasn't able to make it in for a few weeks or a month. And one time I went to work out of town for like 3 months. And after that 3 months, when I came back, I was up in the gym and I feel like I was wrecking everyone, where like some people were saying like, how do I get better?
Right.
This guy hasn't been here and he just beat the crap out of me. Like I thought I was getting better. Like,
right.
So like, that's why I'm always confused. People talk about rust and being out of shape. I was like, what do you mean? Like, that's when I feel my best.
Right.
And you take a break. And it's like that whole time I'm not training, I am thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm thinking
and sometimes you're on that hamster wheel, and Gaethje was fighting every 4 months against the toughest guys, and he's like on the fight posters, he's in these big main events, and you're kind of just turning, and every day's the same. He's been gone now for 18 months, and he has that loss against Habib, and it's like it's one of those things. He's angry, he's pissed off, he has redemption, revenge, all those words, whatever buzzwords you want to say. I think he's going to come out. I think he's going to look great. Yeah. I think quick first minute, 2 minutes, I think Gaethje's going to throw us something pretty special.
Yeah, I think so too. And that's another thing too. There's been times where I literally think of I'm not going to drop any names, but I think about someone and I'm like, man, I'm going to throw this at them. I think this is going to work. And I just kind of dissect my round with them, and I kind of make a plan. Like, all right, I think the next time I spar him, I'm gonna throw this. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna spar him like this, and it's crazy because it's like, wow, everything I thought about would work or everything I visualized, it's working now. So it's like, and when I had this break, when I was thinking about all these things I'm going to do to this person the next time I sparred him, it's not like I practice any of those things on the bag or on the pads or with a partner.
Right.
I just was like, the next time I spar this dude, I'm going to hit him with this, and that. And then sure enough, went into that round and was touching him with everything that I visualized touching him with. So sometimes it's like fighting really is like mental and physical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to beat things into your brain so that when you go to spar, it just comes out. Because I thought about it all week. The whole week I've been thinking about what moves I'm going to do on you.
Right.
So once we start sparring, it's like I don't have to think extra. It's already there.
Crazy. Man. Jonny Parsons, iKON to UFC fighter. Real quick, last story, 10-second story. I remember you get the win at Biloxi, Mississippi. iKON won. you're walking out, your cornerman, the name is for leaving me. Dean Tool gave me your check to hand to your cornerman. And I'm like, all right, here's Johnny's check. And it's like so crazy that I'm handing you a check from your iKON win. And now you're in the UFC. So I don't get to hand you any more checks. Now you get bigger checks and you get them like probably straight deposited to your account, man. So happy.
Oh, it feels good. The direct deposit feels good.
So happy for you, your family. And we'll talk again as soon as that fight announcement comes up, or we'll be intrigued because I know the world wants to see you fight again soon. All right, my man?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me, David.
All right, brother. Thank you.